Sideline of goal! Late winner's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Vernon! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Final points there! He's still alive! Wait, seconds left! He's got one sub! He's got a second! He's taking it! Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
And we're back for the final match of today's The Summit 2 by G2A.com European Dota Action. I'm LD. He's Merlini.
Hello.
It's been a fairly long day, but good games, so I'm happy. You happy?
PR hype train. We were just talking about it before.
All aboard?
Alliance.
You're not aboard the PR hype train, though.
Definitely not.
Dota 2 Lounge has Alliance at 61% favorites, PR 39.
Don't be fooled by the last results. Cloud9 was just playing awful, rather than
Oh,
PR looking really superb.
It's not enough just to say you don't agree with the odds. You gotta make sure to.
I have to give my reasoning. Hey, the two supports actually didn't do that much, so I'll be looking for those two PR supports to do a little bit more than they did in the first game.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And Alliance is also going with something that they're very accustomed to. They're not experimenting with something very unusual. They go for the Loda Naga.
Anti-Mage.
I mean, it could be a support for some teams, but for Alliance, pretty much always played as that one position. I followed up with a Rubik, the Bulldog Clockwork off the board now, and looking at bans really quickly, the Necrolite was banned. Something that I don't know that I've seen Power Rangers run. I mean, I would say it's a direct counter to Spectre, because you can't haunt buyback if there's the Exalt, but outside of that, we don't really see too many Necrolite bans. Interesting.
Well, they could still be running a Naga Siren support,
That's true.
so that's something to consider. GG counter to Naga Siren ult, just Heartstopper aura.
Easy.
Easy. Well, okay, there answers the question of whether or not Naga is a support.
Yeah, they do pick up the Lion now, and on that note, they have great lockdown for the Anti-Mage if they can get farm on the line. Otherwise, Rubik can still blink.
They don't
which
have
is
that much
quite nice.
damage for him, though. Sure,
Yeah,
they can
that's
lock him
true.
down, but Rubik doesn't really do any damage to Anti-Mage. Lion, minimal, I'd say.
What do you get here to give damage?
Well, it depends on whether they want to do Naga mid or Naga safe or safe lane.
Mhm.
I think they can
For Dire side, but I guess that doesn't really matter as much nowadays for rushing.
PA. Nah, PA's
PA Naga dual core.
PA
If
is
Clockwork hits the
so-so.
cogs of his life, you know. Song into cogs.
I don't know. There aren't that many good sources of damage. Generally, you want like very high physical damage or some sort of pure damage. But they could also go with like more minus armor too with Naga Siren. But would probably prefer like a more offensive support, like a Vengeful Spirit instead of the Rubik here. But still, what other good heroes are good versus Anti-Mage? I don't know. A lot of them are. Alk's generally decent too. What else? Spectre, not so good.
What else? Alliance, they were running Terrorblade a lot, but that's banned. And Power Rangers actually banning the Pugna, which is interesting because a lot of teams have used Pugna as the counter to Naga. You just get the Ags and just instantly dispel the illusions with your ult. Well, in a matter of like a second and a half.
Well, it owns Skywrath really badly.
That's true. It does own Skyra. And actually Timbersawn's pretty good against it as well.
But at the same time, they don't really have any other push, so like Pugna wouldn't really fit terribly well into their lineup.
The other thing worth mentioning here is that Ape Mother is actually playing for Alliance. They had Hani standing in at ESL. They had someone else standing in for them earlier. Before that, it was
Smogolig.
Chessie. Who was it?
Smogolig?
Smogolig, that's right. And apparently Ape Mother will be their stand-in at Starladder. So they're getting some practice in. Ape Mother, of course, from Team Coast. For those who aren't familiar with Coast, they almost made it out of the European qualifier for TI4 as the representative. But they fell a little bit short. I think they finished 3rd or 4th.
I think he fits well into Alliance's like general team mentality. He's not a super aggressive player, but he's very versatile, and he actually plays a little bit safe, which is good for their team because they need to just stop getting owned in the first 25 minutes and having to have Loda carry them through. So I think that it's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, in this version, like if you only have one farm carry, generally teams have 2 or 3 on each side, and if it's 1v5 or 1v4, you're generally going to struggle. Previous versions, I feel you could get away with that a little bit more, but Alliance 5th pick now. They have their Bulldog here. They have their supports. They need a core. It's going to be a Razor So that will most likely be Ape Mother's hero. You'll have Misery and Ake taking up the Lion, the Rubik, the Naga for Loda, and the Bulldog Clockwork. So we pretty much know what their heroes are going to be. Some options for lanes, but the standard one would just be the Clockwork off lane, either Razor, Naga mid, and the others in the tri lane.
There are better options than Razor here, but Power Rangers actually banned Pugna very quickly, so that Alliance had to pick really quickly, and they were pretty close to ending their reserve time. So I don't think this is the ideal pick for them, and I don't think that they think that it's the ideal pick for them, but it's a safe pick. You can't really go wrong with it. A lot of the Unstable Current really good versus Skywrath and Ogre, not strength-based, so Timbersaw not terribly effective versus him, although Timbersaw is still pretty good versus him, and his static link isn't that great versus Blinkers, so there's a lot of deficiencies with the hero. But on the flip side, very good AoE. As I said, Unstable Current pretty useful. Minus armor on already low armor heroes like Skywrath is very useful. And good laning phase, good mech carrier, which they didn't have before.
And I think, like you said, more than anything, it's just a solid, safe pick, which has generally been Alliance's go-to as of late. Just trying not to lose the laning stage too hard and look for superior late-game decision-making to carry it. They go for a Viper for PR, so they get more strong laning, something that can go reasonably well versus Razor. Doesn't match up that great against Naga generally. But just a mech builder for them. Timbersaw's not going to be building that. AM's going to be busy with his... Well, I mean, there's two ways to go. Do we see that Crimson Guard Manta aggression, or do we see the Battle Fury
not versus
carry?
Naga Siren. Versus Naga Siren, you have to either win early or have a better late gamer than her, or outsplit push her, which is very rare. They don't have a good pushing lineup, so just get a Battle Fury, farm faster. Anti-Mage is actually very good at dealing with a Naga Siren. I'd say one of the best carries to go toe-to-toe with her in a late game. Kills illusions very quickly, doesn't take that much damage from illusions because Riptide and Radiance are generally your sources of damage, and he has a lot of minus magic damage. He also just farms extraordinarily quickly with Battle Fury plus Blink and can actually compete with her levels of gold per minute.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the build. And for now, we'll introduce the lineups. We've got Ditya Ra playing the Anti-Mage, heading to the safe lane. Sonika standing in on the Skywrath Mage. Played a great Abaddon in their previous win against Cloud9. I feel like he was the most important player on their team there. J4, the Ogre Magi, that put Shachlo onto the solo mid Viper, and Cheshire Cat is the Timbersaw. Loda will get aggressive here. They actually back off for a second, so Nico gets caught out by an initial net, and then his damage is drained, but the supports are damn slow for Alliance. They won't actually be able to get a kill. But they do get aggressive. So yeah, running through the Alliance heroes quickly. You've got Loda on the Naga Siren, Ape Mother, the Razor, Ake, your Lion, Misery, the Rubik, big playmaker hero for him, and at least Bulldog on one of his more comfort heroes, the Offlane Clock. Just want to mention quickly, neither of these teams have done that great in the Summit 2 so far. Alliance is 0-1, very small sample size, but off to a losing record, and PR, despite their win earlier, 2-3.
Skywrath already skilling Ancient Seal. It's very abnormal to see a level 1. Maybe he thought that it was going to save him from First Blood, but he didn't actually need to skill anything.
Yeah, like if Lion runs in for a stun, but they couldn't get in range. Will hurt his ability to harass this Clockwork quite a bit. Like Ancient Seal into nothing, basically. That's unfortunate. Well, let's see where we go from here. Ake picks up an Invis off the bat. Radiant didn't get a ward down for this. I don't think they had any vision. And they will go in mid. It's actually a mid Timbersaw. They're going to send 3 heroes rotating through. Misery coming in. This could be bad. Net to start. Impale to follow. Cheshire Cat didn't even skill the reactive armor. Oh, he's in trouble now. Whirling Death. Not going to save him. Oh, maybe it will. No. He'll end up falling. Normally Timbersaw, not an easy level 1 kill, especially for heroes like Lion and Rubik. They lack damage, but already having skilled Whirling Death, not expecting any aggression from Rubik Lion. He pays. In good news, though, Sneeko may snipe the courier.
I don't think he would have, Oh, yeah. Is Sneeko going to get it? I don't know.
Maybe on the way back. They know Loda's going to have a very fast something, which is a bottle. And this should be sniped.
I mean, it's headed towards the top side.
One more auto attack. Oh, he got it! That Skywrath Mage base movement speed making the difference. At least for Loda, his bottle wasn't on the curve. He has net skilled up, though. If he gets off the net, this is going to be trouble. The silence from Sneeko just a bit too slow. Riptide is used. Only 2 auto attacks to get this. Maybe 3. Not going to happen. So a nice turn there. They'll snipe the courier. It's About as good as it gets for giving up first blood.
Yeah, and unfortunately he didn't get it before the bottle was delivered, but still, that's a very nice boost. Even if he had a level 1 reactive armor, I don't think it would have saved him, because Whirling Death still reduces damage taken by reducing your stat base damage, so it would have still been fairly close.
Well, either way, Cheshire Cat, despite that death, it's still a pretty good matchup for Timbersaw. Naga's illusions just tickle him. He can clear them out almost instantly with his mass AoE. Good hero to secure runes, and Naga doesn't really have the burst to bring him down. So, he should still do well in this lane despite giving up that kill.
Yeah.
More that Loda will have an easier time than anything else. So you see Anti-Mage going toe-to-toe with Bulldog. Burns away all his mana. Di'Ira will blink away after that and be okay.
Very unusual 2-1-0 build. You see 2 mana break in some matchups, but versus Clockwork, I don't really think it's that imperative because he doesn't have that much mana.
The main time when I see this lately is when players are going the Crimson Guard build, because then you need the damage, and you're not as reliant on the early points and stats because you already get a bunch of HP. So it's not a guaranteed tell. It could just be 2 points, but
that's true. But
I'm wondering if that's his choice.
He can't play aggressively into the line. He can't blink into a Razor. He can't blink into a Lion. Naga also with a net will lock him down, or Clockwork. There's so many spells that I think he should just play traditional farming Anti-Mage and not deviate from that build.
Yeah, and they don't have that much lockdown. Like they do have lockdown, but they need to farm to really bring it into play. Ake won't have a blink for a long time. Misery can steal blink, but they might be in range for their follow-up. You see blows traded in the stat lane. How do you... Oh, hold that thought. Mother caught up by the soul. They lift up the Razor, or sorry, the Viper, toss him back down to save the Razor, who will drop extremely low to this aggression. Tri-lane of Lion Rubik against an Ogre Scar. They are just getting punished early on, but not dying, which is good.
I'm surprised he doesn't have 1 point in Unstable Current. Ogre has 2 single target spells, at least early, as well as Skywrath. So it's pretty useful in this lane.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get it by level 4 at the very least.
And he did not pick up at level 4.
How do you feel about this tri-lane? Like on paper, to me, it looks pretty damn good for PR. Their supports are just stronger in lane, but is this worth the trade-off of giving Bulldog an easier time bottom? Are you happy with the lanes here for PR?
Fine. I think it's fine. As long as Timbersaw doesn't die. I mean, he died at level 1, so it's not a big deal.
But he's still crushing. I mean, as you would expect for this matchup.
So I think it's good. They're putting pressure on all 3 lanes, and still the bigger issue is they haven't really shut down the Naga, and them having supports like that isn't really going to allow them to shut him down because the Viper can't really solo these 3 heroes.
Yeah, if they go for a smoke, Shade Shell, well, he does have phase boots. Like, if he sees them coming, he can just run away, but that's tough. Sharkat now hits level 6. This is where Loda has to be careful. He's only level 5, doesn't have his ultimate yet. And will back way off to get his bottle. He does not want this stalling, and he's going to start stacking the woods on the way back as PR retreat off the top lane. So, yeah, Loda being efficient on his movements here. Let's see. Yeah, he should get this.
8 Mother.
Meanwhile, top lane to go into 8 Mother. Takes a lot of damage from the Ogre, but he's still stealing a decent amount back the other way. Shadefall doesn't care, just tanks it anyway. As J4 gets aggressive. That Ogre just so damn strong! Going ham with the stuns. And a 2-for-0 exchange.
8 Mother, I mean, with Unstable Current, maybe he can survive that, but he was just playing way too aggressively, trying to get maximum damage out of Static Link before having a retreat.
You just cannot take this Ogre Scarith Mage tri-lane early on with a Rubik Lion. I don't know what else they can do. Should they be roaming, stacking, or just dodging fights, I guess, is the ideal way to do it.
For Alliance?
Yeah, they're getting wrecked. Even before that engagement. Every time they post up, they nearly die.
They can't really kill Timber in mid now. He's very tanky and does a lot of damage. Probably just stack and pull and deny farm through securing their pool.
We'll be able to check for the 6-minute rune here as Suniko gonna duke it out with a Naga illusion. Will Loda get that deny? No, Invis picked up for Suniko, but it was spotted by the Dire if they were watching closely. Meanwhile, Loda gonna bottle up the bounty rune. Do they plant a little trap here? No detection in sight. Misery gonna retreat out. And they do bring the Ogre down bottom. They'll look for Bulldog. They have a Mana Void ready to go. He's close to being dead. I think with the Mana Void they have it. Maybe need one more auto attack. They'll use the Mana Void now. No blink for a few seconds, but Bulldog also has no cog, so they can confidently dive this tower. Ogre securing the kill. Punches it home.
Brushing off this tower.
I love this hero, man. everything about him. The art design, the play style. Ogre Dota, best Dota.
And going with 2-2-2-2-0. No bloodlust.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I've seen every single possible build on this hero. Just maxing those two skills, getting the value point in Bloodlust,
Have
maxing
you
Bloodlust.
seen Stats Bloodlust?
No, okay, that build I have not seen. That's the Statslust build. The pure right-click deep Soger. It's like Lone Drew when you skip the bear. It just ain't gonna cut it, man. But it is clowny for pubs, I suppose. So Misery will rotate towards mid now. Loda, for the most part, has done a good job of stacking up his neutrals. They're going to give the Rubik the mid lane. They want him to hit 6. Some good spells to steal this game. Chakram, always nice. Blink is great. It's a good game for Rubik to get his early levels, but PR may not allow this. They don't even care about Misery. They say, whatever, get your level 6 if you so dare. We're going top. Strike a path for Ake, or maybe even for Ape Mother. Although Ake's in position to reveal this, he's probably dead. He gets silenced, then he gets Fire Blast, then he gets clubbed. Clubbed to death.
Yeah, this Viper pick was actually really good for PR. It's extremely difficult for them to go on him.
Yeah, once they got him that good start. And since then, he's been like just left alone, more or less.
Yeah, he has an easier time CSing than Razor. He has higher damage as well as Nether Toxin on top of that, and a lot of magic resistance too. And Alliance doesn't have that much physical damage aside from Razor, and Razor's been shut down pretty hard.
Yeah, and even the Naga's slipping a bit, and it's to be expected just because the Timbersaw does so well against these illusions and just in general in a 1v1 versus a melee hero. Anti-Mage, let's see, what is he going to go for? He's completed his treads. This is that time where he's got to tell. Probably the Battle Fury, but you never know. He has gone back for Blink. Alright, so most likely Battle Fury then. Maxing the Blink first.
Yeah, I don't think Crimson Guard is very good here. It's very specific.
Yeah, and it's not like PR should be too afraid of taking this late. Anti-Mage is pretty good there. Timbersaw wrecks solutions, even if the main Naga's difficult to deal with.
They have Bloodlust.
Yeah, that's very true. The split push will be strong. The only area where I worry for PR a bit is just team fight. They only have one real stun.
Well, Alliance is worse, if anything.
Yeah, they have a little more lockdown, but that's about it.
But they also have less AoE damage. PR has a lot more AoE damage.
That's true.
The Timber is just...
Yeah, both teams are pretty ass at team fighting, to be honest.
Yes.
Ogre's going to wrap around. Or, sorry, Timber's going to wrap around. He'll be joined by the Ogre momentarily. As they go on Ape Mother, they use the Viper Strike, and the backstab won't even be needed to start. Cheshire Cat now going to tank the tower. He also doesn't care. This is a team of bruisers. Gonna jump on Ake, Timber chain through. Kill secured. Bulldog rotates, but he's got to find someone squishy to jump on. So Nico into the tree line, protected by the beefy front line of
Hook
Cheshire
shot.
Cat and J4.
Missed.
Can't find that opening.
Admiral Bulldog misses hook shot towards the player.
Even if he hits that might just backfire.
Still gets a kill though. They need to get some kills on the board. And that would have given Misery his level 6.
It also gives Dityara just a completely empty lane bottom lane.
Not shaping up well for Alliance at all. They need level 6 on their supports ASAP so they can just blow people up with Finger of Death. But at this rate, PR is just walking all over this Razor and making him irrelevant. We talked about him being a mech carrier, but...
And they probably lost Ake bottom. Fire Blast comes out. Anti-Mage going to tank the tower a bit. Ogre, not even really... not going to get the kill in the end. The Anti-Mage mono voids that.
Screw magic.
Yeah, fuck magic indeed.
These two supports are playing way better than they did in the game versus Cloud9, though, on the side of PR.
It's a great support game as well. Running these two aggressive supports against a fairly weak laning phase for Alliance, they've taken advantage of it. Nicely done by PR. The mighty Morphin Power Rangers are starting to upgrade here.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see Alliance switch from the Naga carry to the support Naga, but
what would you have gone for instead?
Just a more aggressive strategy in general. Just because they lost the early game and
like a Slark type hero,
yeah,
something like that.
Anything like that. Well, Slark doesn't provide enough lockdown, but just anything more to try and... They only have one way back in the game right now, and that's a farm Naga center. Like, maybe they can take fights, but like Razor still has to play very, very carefully, try and survive, and he's just very likely to die in all these fights. So, what is their game plan post-30? Get their ratings.
Well, this ain't the game plan. Misery trapped out in the river by a Fire Blast. Then the silence on the Bulldog. Well played by Suniko. So Bulldog can't even cog. He will finally suck the Skywrath Mage back into them, but now he's going to most likely pay with his life. Can he TP out in time? It'll be close, not close enough. Just shy of Cat. Secures that kill, and bottom lane in again goes the Anti-Mage. Fearless of this Lion. He will blink out.
Uh-oh.
Not shot, sorry, blinks in. Thought he was going to retreat. He mono-voids Ake. And doesn't quite get the kill. Now they're rotating the Rubik, only level 5. Fade Bolt won't be nearly enough to score this one. Oh, he doesn't get the kill, but he punishes the Lion once again.
Let's check Loda's farm. He's been a little quiet. 3,500 gold on him. So, I guess Radiance maybe 16 minutes. It's not so bad.
He's caught up pretty nicely considering that he had a rougher lane.
Oh, man. They blocked the spawns, though. Uh-oh. That's troublesome.
Yeah, and he can't really go farm the enemy woods yet. He doesn't have the Radiance, so he's not going to clear anything.
He can't sit in the lane versus Viper.
He can't lane versus Timbersaw. Well, I mean, he can barely lane versus Timbersaw.
And they've been rotating supports in left and right for Power Rangers to kill whoever dares soak up experience on the bottom lane.
Ake and Misery looking for the jump in.
Man, the gem. This is the play. Naga Siren.
Just to deward the camps, I guess. That's expensive, but needed. Because if they just reward them again, you don't want to be blowing too many sentries on that. Yeah. Very risky play, though.
It's a smart play. Most teams would not do this, but it's just all get Naga Siren huge. Loda. And Loda we trust.
Yeah, well, Loda's going to have his work cut out for him. Shachel has gone back for a Midas here on the Viper. And on top of that, the Timbersaw has been free farming. So you've got a full tri-core for PR, all doing very well. They're 3 out of the top 4. Their cores are only like... Well, in fact, they're about to all surpass Loda at the rate he's going. He will pretty much be 1v5ing. Bulldog, this is not going to help. Caught out mid lane by the Ogre stun, then Skywrath Mage ulted into Oblivion. Another quick, clean kill. And a tower to boot. Just keep on piling on the victories for PR in this game. 8,000 gold lead, 6,000 experience lead, great late game, winning the laning stage, free farming the Anti-Mage, Battle Fury online at 14 minutes, even before the Naga completes the ratings, and with treads.
And with
what more can go right?
Viper to backup carry too.
Well, I guess I could start playing their theme song in the middle of the broadcast. That might pump them up a little bit, but short of that, I don't think you can ask for anything else.
Bloodstone soon on old Timber.
He's a really nice hero to have against Naga too.
Hey.
I'm liking the Timber picks in general. I feel like that hero was a bit undervalued in the previous patch. And also he just fits in nicely now, where you can get away with slightly greedier drafts than what you could before when towers drop so quickly.
Oh, he got a couple buffs too with items, Ags and Bloodstone. One of the most popular Bloodstone carriers in the game.
Yeah, Soul Rain is really nice as the build-up item. We'll look for the jump in mid here, perhaps. 2 heroes. Creeping on the high ground. Bulldog hanging out with his bud.
Razor might have to go for a BKB rush instead of a mech this game. He's just that far behind.
Do want to point out that Misery managed to steal Blink, but hasn't been able to do anything with it on the Rubik. And it does go back to your initial concern. Like, picking Razor didn't really solve their problems with not having much damage. They still have very little. Finger of Death still not ready for Ake. There's nowhere for him to go farm. Or leave and leech experience, really.
PR not really taking that many towers, but once they get this mid tower, the jungle's gonna really close off for Loda. Still, should have his Radiance fairly soon, about 900 gold away, farming away in his own jungle.
Well, smoke now from PR. J4 grouping up with Diddy around. So Nico here as well. And they're going to wrap around. Misery's got to be careful. He's got the stolen blink. It'll be revealed. Is he quick enough? No. Ogre too fast on the draw. He might look like a dumb oaf, but he's got that quick pull out when he needs it. Scores a kill there on the Rubik. Doesn't lead to a tower, and then he dewards. This is a very smart Ogre. The fabled intelligent Ogre.
So who do they really go on with Clockwork? You can't go on Anti-Mage, you'll blink away. You can't really go on Viper because he's pretty tanky with max corrosive skin. You can't go on Timbersaw since he'll Timber Chain away. And even if you do catch any of these heroes, you'll just get a Skywrath all dumped on you. Loda. Wow.
He sounds, but that chakra merely finishes him off. Misery will come in as Loda sticking around. They're going to need to bring in more than this, and they will. Bulldog here, Timber Chain out, not going to happen. Cheshire Cat, this would be a big kill if he drops. And he will. Pushed back in by the Cogs. Did cost a song, but they've stolen Timber Chain. Level 4. That's a nice pickup for the Rubik.
If he doesn't get silenced. And Nagasar.
Or stunned, and they actually have a lot of stun.
Is he going to sell his Quelling Blade to get it, or his TP Scroll to get his Radiance?
Actually, not a lot.
He needs it right now.
Yeah, just the ogre stun on the silence, but that's probably enough. And Mono Void, I suppose. Anti-Mage now, what's he got? Yasho already picked up. He's gonna pull ahead now. 2.5k gold up on Loda. The Quelling Blade is out. He's not selling it though. It's a nice item to have on an illusion-based hero, but most of your damage does come from the Riptide and Radiance at this point. So you would think just getting it ASAP is the goal.
Going for a pipe instead of a mech. That's fairly interesting. From Shotchlo. It's not a bad choice either. I think pipe has been highly underutilized in the summit too.
We haven't seen it at all. That Zeus game would have been a great pipe game as well. Zeus, what else was there? Slark,
Skywrath,
a couple of other
Sand King.
People don't believe in the pipe, man. I remember even when I was casting with Winter a lot, like in 2012, he said, build a pipe! Build a pipe! This team needs a pipe! No one ever did it. And they often paid for it.
Yeah, I think the Chinese teams are much better about doing so. Well, Nagasana with Radiance. Hopefully this is where they can start mounting their comeback, but they are...
Chain in on the Digyara, but then what? Then Ake just dies. He got multi-casted. Hello, mister. Goodbye. And they lost a gem, too. Do they see it? Oh, I think they do. They were busy killing off the Razor. I'm wondering if they're going back for this. Yeah, they'll get the gem as well, so that's a 3-hero smackdown in the bottom lane.
Can't they just go high ground right now?
I think so.
Well, if they had a mech,
They have
maybe?
the pipe. They have the pipe now.
Oh, they have Urn,
They have Urn charges and pipe. They could go high ground. I suppose safe plays just to take the tier 2s, maybe Roche. But there's really nothing Alliance can do unless they grossly overextend. Even the Song of the Siren is still pulling down for 45. It's just... It just feels so strange to see Alliance get absolutely crushed by this. Somehow my head's still caught in that this TI 3 times, you know? It's a different roster, it's a different patch. But they're just not the dominant bunch they once used to be.
They are not. And just having to rely on 4 Protect to win every single game is not a winning recipe for...
They do feel like one of the more predictable teams right now. Cloud9 we saw trying to experiment, it didn't work, but I still think that's the right approach. You got to have multiple styles of play at this level. Nowadays, teams are just too good at countering if you have one. They'll jump it on Shadeslow mid lane. He doesn't have a pipe though. Can they pop it off in time? He didn't get it off. The Finger of Death is there, and it'll actually fall from full HP to none. But it comes at the cost of probably 3 heroes. Cheshire Cat, Misery, all in trouble. He's stolen. A Viper Strike. Not going to save him. Kill secured by the Anti-Magus, as he once again gives the middle finger to magic users everywhere. A 3-for-1 trade, a 15k gold lead, and the hits just keep on coming for the Power Rangers.
Another tower to fall soon, and I mean, it's just a matter of time before Nagasarn is actually going to be forced to fight, and she is far too weak to do so at this point. Far too weak.
And these illusions, Anti-Mage is probably one of the better heroes if he's ahead to just deal with that, because he's so mobile, he can find the illusions cutting the creep wave and deal with them much easier than most. They will steal a Chakram again. But Gem now, along with the Bloodstone out on Cheshire Cat, map control will be going the way of PR. And they, if they wanted to, could just start warding off camps again. But I don't even think they care about that, Ben. It looks like they just want to dive. Why?
They want to fight Alliance.
This far ahead. Lines being drawn. They actually have a good sense for where Alliance are. You can see Cheshire Cat saying they're probably up near their secret shop, and they were just north of it. Won't go in, though.
They have that ward there.
And they're just going to split push. Digyara pushing in the top lane. We see the bottom lane handled by Cheshire Cat. It's a nice chokehold that PR has Alliance bottled up into. Look at these, like these supports. 1,500 net worth on your friggin' Rubik. 2,000 on the Lion. It's basically a 5v3 at that point.
They just need to get a Heart or Butterfly on Anti-Mage, get a mech on Viper, take down the T2s, do Roshan, and then probably push uphill before Naga gets her 3rd or 4th item.
Yeah, and Loda only has the BOTs now. So maximizes his mobility here, his split push potential, but still doesn't clear the waves that quickly. Or at least doesn't threaten towers with no Yasha, with no Manta completed.
They have warded off those camps.
The other concern is with no Manta, he can be ganked, so he's got to play this very safely, and we see Lotus doing that. And yeah, Sentry Ward's down, and both camps near the mid. Those are the safe camps, too. Those are the ones near the lane that he could potentially access. Lotus, a solid 4k gold down and changes. The jump in onto Ake is attempted. They get aggressive. I love seeing the Ogre and Timber just join forces. Such a scary duo for these squishy supports.
Timbersaw looks so intimidating with Bloodlust.
Especially just seeing him, like, gyrating in the portrait. But he's, like, bloody red in the game.
He looks crazy.
To be fair, you gotta be a little crazy to hate trees as much as he does. Mother Nature cries out in pain. Speaking of Father Nature, what happened to Nature's Prophet? I haven't seen that here at all lately.
Are they actually trying to hold this? They should just delay with Plasma Field plus Fade Bolt. There's no reason for them to take a fight here.
Loda is trying. He's pulling out every trick in the book, though, Ben. Hiding in the trees top lane, sending illusions towards his jungle. If some camps are blocked, he goes to farm the others, but he's 65 CS down on the Anti-Mage. It's like they basically have a hero who's equally good at split push, or close to it anyway. And they're also, all their other heroes are relevant.
He's so big.
1v5 is, I think, pretty accurate.
Anti-Mage is massive.
He's gonna get bigger, too. He's got Manta out, 3.3k gold. If they want, get the Butterfly Heart, or Butterfly Abyssal BKB, something like that. Loda will probably still only have 4 or 5 items, and the rest of the team will be absolutely food. And AM can just ignore Loda and go for the other heroes, if he so chooses. We'll see if they even wait that long. Shadeshow, J4, Sanika. I'd like to see them push that advantage a little bit. There will be a smoke attempted towards the bottom lane. No, not a smoke, just a rotation. But that might cost them 8 Mother. Mid lane, really forced off, driven back from the tower. Stunned, but nicely timed by Misery. As 8 Mother still ends up going down to that Ogre Magi. Damage over time. Pipe now used. Wasn't even needed earlier. They do steal the Chakram, though. Probably the best ability to slow down this push. PR, just keep on muscling up on the tower. Force staff on the J4, now the Timbersaw coming in. He does get hacked. They can look to focus him down. He's actually fairly squishy to magic damage. Will end up falling to a nice Finger of Death from Ake. Now J4 may be next. They've lost their gem as well. A 2 for 1, but a gem also given up. And they may lose Saniko to boot. Song is available. Are they going to use it? Nope. Let him go. Well, that's the kind of turnaround Alliance have been praying for. But they still need a lot more.
They need the Anti-Mage in these fights, too. Well, they pressure the T2s. As long as Loda's there. If Loda's there, they need the Anti-Mage there. If he's not there, he's okay to split push. Yeah, Timbersaw is fat, but not that fat. Got blown up.
Yeah. What do you go for here if you have the BKB?
Well, he should have gotten the Pipe, and Viper should have gotten the mech. Or, yeah, Viper should have gotten the mech. Pipe would still be really good. Or, sorry, a Casual Cloak would be really good for him. I think he needs HP, though. He doesn't really need physical mitigation. Although Shivas is very good at clearing Naga illusions, that's not their problem.
Okay, so BKB or a Cloak, something
Scepter, maybe like a Cloak into an Ogre Club, and then decide whether or not you want Scepter or BKB. It's pretty good.
Yeah, if he goes that route, there's very little to deal with his Timber Chains either. If he does go BKB.
He could even go Vlad's for the Anti-Mage, and he could just close the game out. He doesn't have to go an item just for himself.
They haven't really wanted to force it too much. I do wonder if they're being a little bit overly patient. Curry now at the secret shop. That's a heart recipe. Well, maybe this is what they're waiting for. Heart complete for the Anti-Mage. He's 1 full item up on Loda. Actually, an item and a half, I would say, since the BOTs don't really help him fight at all. Just reaching his peak now. This is an Anti-Mage nearly on his prime. Just a Butterfly and perhaps a BKB or Abyssal short of being fully in man mode. And he'll probably be pushing now with the team. They'll get an Ogre Bounty run. They'll rotate towards the bottom lane. And still PR. No huge pressure from them. Just slow, patient counterplay. Deep push top lane. Farm the enemy Ancients. Try to starve out Alliance a bit, but they may end up losing an AM for this. Can they hook shot in to set up a kill on this Anti-Mage? He's in the pit now. Support's not really with him. This could end poorly. Oh, no, they got eyes now on Loda, who's going to Song immediately. The hook shot in with Bulldog and try and force these other heroes back. But Song, and then what? Anti-Mage is jumping in. He tries to Manta dodge and impale, not able to do so. His damage will be drained. Blinks to the left, retreats out successfully, while Bulldog, trapped in an awkward position up on the tree line, has no hook shot out of here. That's a dog in the kennel for a long time. In fact, too long. But they'll go and find him anyway. They try to take his bone. They'll succeed. The Bulldog is officially out of the map, out of the game, and this is a free Roche. Mega kill now for the Anti-Mage. I think he's yet to die. Yeah, 5-0 and 1. Can they maybe deny this with an illusion? Something along those lines? Doesn't even seem like they'll get that.
Without Naga sleeve, it might be a good time to push high ground. It was a very good time to take Roach, so he had used to try and set up on the Anti-Mage that didn't even yield in a kill.
Speaking of that, AM drops the poor man's shield and secures himself a nice Aegis. Do they just push in?
They should. This is the time to end it. Anti-Mage is really strong relative to Naga Siren, and as the game goes on, I mean, Anti-Mage will have less and less slots, and Naga Siren will have more annoying items to deal with for them, so it's a very good time to end it. 19-5, only 5 kills for Alliance in 28 minutes, 16,000 gold behind. They might not get a better opportunity than this.
Yeah, and just to echo your point, I mean, having 2-3 big items when your opponent has 1 or 2, that's a huge advantage. But if you have like 5 when they have 4, or 6 when they have 5, the difference really isn't as noticeable. So, right now their relative strength is extremely high, and finish him would be the call for PR, or at least attempting to do it. 5 heroes down mid, so Nico joining the crew.
They have to be aggressive, like just straight walk up the hill with Anti-Mage. He has Heart, he has Manta Style, he has Battle Fury, he has an Aegis.
He's Bloodlust too.
Yeah, just walk up the hill.
You
Don't
got
be
Ogre.
scared.
You got Ogre backing you up. It's like having 2 heroes on your team. That's better than 1. Tier 3 and under siege. Anti-Mage still holding that Manta Style for now. Not really even remotely nervous, although he does lose a decent amount of HP. Ogre will begin to roll the dice a bit, throwing out an Ignite here or there. Alliance? Do they really want to leave their base? No, they just want to scare
They're out of
into
urns.
retreating.
They need a mech. They could have just meched up and just kept going. I don't really know why.
Or they just need to use this damn pipe right now, which they do, but it's true. After a lot of damage was already taken. Jira, throw up in the air, multicast from the Ogre. And then what? Then the tower will fall. That's the big prize claim. Still looking for that Alliance jump in. Impale on the Jira. And the Warp on the range Rex. That's the easier Rex to bring down. Okay, has a finger ready to go. It's only level 1. And the Timbersaw gets aggressive, jumping onto Misery. A few slices from those blades. Once again, the ultimate magic user down for the count. They'll lose Loda before he can Song. He'll buy back immediately, but Ake's already dead. And it might just be too late. They'll try. They've used multiple buybacks. Triple, in fact. Anti-Mage still has a frickin' Aegis. He goes toe-to-toe. Die, magic users. Fall before the wrath of the AM. As he blinks forward, Bulldog will take down the Viper Strike. No, barely survives. Anti-Mage is leveling up. It's NBA Jam time for him. He'll retreat out, trying to finish the range racks. He's hexed. Remember, this is only life number 1. And they've already used 3 buybacks just to try and bring him down halfway. 8 Mother, dead. PR, overwhelming Alliance. Just absolutely slaughtering them. Rubik dies at the tier 4 towers. That's probably game, Ben.
All aboard the Power Rangers hype train.
We got a song to play when this one's over. Jesus, they're just making it look easy today. Cloud9, Alliance, no skin off their back, and it's with stand-ins too. I don't know who they've been using as stand-ins, but I don't remember both of these players. Maybe they're just using different names. Either way, Cheshire Cat gonna Timber Chain out when the chase comes in. Ditya Raw farming Ake under the tier 4s. Nice run around the Rosie. Might be able to pop this Aegis. 5 dead. That was a triple, actually a quadruple dieback from Alliance. You just got wiped, then lost 4 again. It's time to GG. Whether you like it or not, they're going to. And Misery will call it. Alliance only their 2nd game here in the Summit too. But they're 0-2.
Yikes.
And
They
it's more
are
the way they're losing.
in
less the fact that they're
trouble.
losing. And again, the disconnect pauses. Throne will explode. Just a little icing on the cake there for the Power Rangers victory. Not much more to say than they just got played across the board.
Alliance had a good level 1 gank on Timber.
Yeah, again, it's just like imagine if they didn't have that, dude.
Hey, negative fantasy points.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 2nd time.
Oh, over there. I can't reach that far.
Poor Razor.
You got a point.
No. Where? Oh. Oh.
Going off screen. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our coverage of the Summit to Europe. We do not have America today, so that concludes today's broadcast. We have a great rebroadcast coming up. Lots of awesome games. Of course, he's Merlini. You can follow him at Merlini Dota if you enjoy my casting, at LD Dota. And, of course, be sure to follow at Beyond the Summit for VODs and just general news. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Nothing more to say than the Summit 2 by G2A.com. It's a wrap for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia.